Okay, Group 3 presentation, their pitch for their A2 Advanced Portfolio. Over to you, girls.
Hiya, we're pitching our film today, which is called Euphoria. The synopsis of our film is, it starts with a girl who unfortunately has a lot of troubles, and her parents have split up and she's been forced to move to a new city. And then when she gets to the new city, which is Brighton, she unfortunately comes into contact with this group of people who have a very bad influence over her. She starts to take drugs and it all goes very haywire, and it's it gets more and more, the drug taking gets worse and worse until she nearly overdoses.
This is like some of the films that we've taken inspiration from. We've been looking a bit at Snatch because it's got a really postmodern feel for the camera work and editing, and it's a British crime film, so we can look at like the stereotypes and kind of construct our own characters on like a really British. Requiem for a Dream, because it uses a lot of really postmodern editing, and it gives like a really surreal feel to the trailer especially. It uses things like layer shots, time lapses, and sliding transitions, and we thought that would be really good for our, because it's like trippy. In Pulp Fiction, they use camera angles to make it really, like, the audience feels quite uncomfortable in the scene, because it's like unusual and different. And then in Trainspotting, they use like props and things like that to make the hallucinations of the characters feel like real and give a physical representation of them, like the trapdoor that the main character gets like lowered down in the stage, and it looks like he's sinking into a tar pit. So we could use things like that to make it.
Just to add to the synopsis, there's a bit in it where Ruby, the girl, goes, her and her new boyfriend, they go in to pick up some drugs, and then the boyfriend takes more than he should have without the drug dealer knowing, and so like basically the drug dealer's gone after him. And then they're at a party, and then Ruby takes like a cocktail of drugs, and then as she's like running off, she thinks the drug dealer's behind her, so she kills him. But it turns out, spoilers, that it's her boyfriend. And so yeah, so it's kind of all like, we'd film it in kind of like is it her boyfriend? Like the audience wouldn't know themselves until she'd actually done it. So that's like the main bit. But our slogan is, Euphoria can only go on for a certain amount of time. Eventually, reality wins out, which is a quote from the director Mark Fee that we'd use. In terms of marketing, like we would mainly do it on social networking sites, because we'd be like an independent film, so we wouldn't have like the big scale budget. Probably mainly Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, like using the stars mainly. And like maybe think of like different ways that we could advertise, like Monsters by Gavin, they use like the marketing campaign where they had like infected zones and stuff. Maybe we could do something like that, like have competitions, free cinema tickets and stuff like that. Any questions?
Any questions from the floor? The question that springs to mind for me straight away is your audience. Who would be your audience for this kind of film? Because it's got quite a sort of adult theme to it. Or
well, I'd say mainly teenagers, because it's kind of like skinsy, like sort of themed, like so probably the same sort of audience as that.
So will it be an 18 or a 15?
15.
Yeah.
A 15, okay. With maybe some sort of reduced content
Yeah.
from...
But obviously, I don't think we'd be able to show like everything in graphic detail, but maybe like hint to it more.
Okay. Because if you watch the film like Train Spotting, it's clearly
Yeah.
quite graphic in its drug taking as an 18, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe not as like hardcore as that.
Right.
But in the end, like we want to leave the audience at the end thinking, like wondering what's happened, because like the sort of drug euphoria sort of theme. So like the ending would be kind of blurred in a way.
So would there be a moral to your story?
Don't do drugs. No,
Thank
I don't know. There'd be a moral.
I mean, if you look at the quote that you use, the slogan,
Yeah.
it kind of suggests
Yeah.
that high as a euphoria is not something that would go on for a long time.
Yeah. Especially sitting on like drugs, like in teenagers, sort of the negative effects.
I guess that's the same message in Train Spotting. Ultimately, although that was still a very controversial film, how would you deal with your controversy?
Yeah.
How would you deal
Oh,
with that?
certainly.
We would take every criticism we had and turn it into a positive.
Very good answer. Anyone else got any burning questions? My thoughts were going to your recce and your ideas where this would be set, or
well, we're not obviously going to give too much away in the trailer. So what we were going to do was film mainly like the party scene, and so we were thinking of just using like a dark room with lights. So like we were going to go astronomer and just film, like have like a bunch of people and then just film the girl like on drugs, and then have like shots as well, like cut into the woods where she's like running away and stuff. So it'd be quite like not too much of the storyline. People won't really know.
it's more symbolic, is it, of the
Yeah.
the
Maybe
euphoria?
action, but yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned the Train Spotting influence of sort of abstract and strange visions, and have you thought about how you would achieve that?
We thought just like for the editing, maybe make it really kind of do like layering the shots so it's like a double vision,
Okay.
and then maybe get like weird props to make it like seeing things that aren't actually there. Or something.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Well, thank you. Round of applause, I think.